Now, how old are you? You broke up.
I broke up.
Yeah.
I will be 34 soon.
Okay, you'll be 34, and you had said that you were recently separated, right?
So I'm trying to separate.
Why? Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to find out why. Because you said that it was because you couldn't do your dream, which is competing in bodybuilding, bikini, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about that.
So before we start talking, I want this to be like, for example, out there after, everything is done, because I'm still in process. So, I don't want to involve emotions here and somebody to get hurt because of
nobody's going to get hurt. Nobody's going to get hurt. We're here to help. I'm here to help.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, you want the truth from what I see, right? You want me to give you the truth, right? So my job is to make sure that
of your side, like I never been like a marriage consultant or stuff like that. I haven't talked with nobody like to open up. So.
But why haven't
you basically the middleman?
I'm the middleman. Well, so you were okay. So let's do this. You were married for how many years?
8.
You're still married. You have a son, correct? How old's your son?
7.
Okay. So what I want to do is, a lot of people that see my podcast, they think that I'm anti-woman. I'm actually trying to help people get together, right? But I see it from both sides. And the majority of the challenges have been on the women's side because of feelings, emotions, right? And so you had said that you left because you weren't allowed to pursue your dreams.
Yes, I start to feel pressure for my dreams.
Okay. So how did he restrain you from pursuing your dreams? What did he do that wouldn't allow you to pursue your dreams?
He doesn't give me the support.
Why is that?
He doesn't want to get interrupted with what I'm doing. Like, for example, he likes the fact that I look hot and I have a big butt, but he doesn't like the fact that I'm going to be at the gym for 1 or 2 hours, or I have to compete.
Okay.
In 2 years, I compete 9 times.
Okay. So, couple things. I've been in that sport. Okay. You're in bodybuilding, right? IFBB. You're a pro, right? And I have been around that since 88. So I've seen it come and go. And I do know that bodybuilding is the most selfish sport in the world. You know that. It's the most selfish.
You call me like that.
But it is a selfish sport.
But you have to be.
Right. So a couple things. You married him for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, till death do you part. And no area in there does it say that you have to be happy. You're there for your child, right? And I understand that you want to do your dreams. And this is what I see. 9 times in 2 years is over excessive, especially when your body only peaks once or twice a year in bodybuilding. Most people, it's once. Very rare that your body can peak twice. And on top of that, the PEDs, performance enhancing drugs, the prep, being on prep, with the diet, the lack of carbs, body fat. When your body fat gets below 11% as a woman, is very unhealthy. You know that. Yeah. So there's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of, so sometimes you can be on an emotional roller coaster, right? Mm-hmm. So what you've told me, and I'm being honest, you told me you put yourself before your husband and your marriage.
Okay.
Right?
That's true.
But you have a man, true. You have a man that loves you. You left, he didn't leave.
We kind of both agree in the end that we are not fine to be each other.
But you said it was because of the bodybuilding, but there's got to be more to that. What else was happening? Sorry. What else was happening? You said you had
So
problems.
he thinks that with my connection. Oh, so he's saying that everything started because of that. That I was used to be a different person than when I start competing.
Which is true.
So, which is, we both start with the same level of like personality and people.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started to upgrade of his dream job.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of like it put me a little bit below him. And then I started competing. And then we was the same level, which I went to the same level of kind of a confidence. So his dream job was to work in a bigger company. He's doing real estate commercial. So he went very up. And he kind of started watching me on the bottom, like
Mm-hmm.
you don't know nothing. And then when I started going up on the scale, so again, my confidence is the same level as him. Then we start to argue. Here we couldn't talk the same language.
So do you think, let me ask you this. If you went back and said you wanted to work on your marriage, would he work on the marriage with you?
Do I?
If you told him you wanted to come back home, because you moved out, I'm assuming, right?
I'm not.
You didn't move out. So you still live there.
I'm moving now in the end of May. Because we live in the same apartment for 3 years, to be like this straight with you. For 3 years, I sleep in a different room.
Well, why haven't you guys went to marriage counseling or a coach or something?
I asked. He asked me, what did you work on it? And I was like, we can't work. Like, we need somebody middle. He didn't want to accept it. He was very busy and focused on his thing, And then when I see, for me to fix needs two people, not only one. For him, it was no bothering until I cut it off.
But you said, but I guess my question is that if your husband didn't want you to do something, you did it anyways. Isn't that being rebellious?
What is that?
Rebellious. You're pushing back, right? Like if I said, hey, I don't think it's healthy for you to compete. I think it's damaging to our marriage. And you still do it. That's an act of defiance, right?
I mean, why should I stop my dreams?
Because your dream is your husband's dream, right? If he's a leader and you're following him in the marriage, if your family's more important than your dream, that's why you make sacrifices, right? No? So if you make sacrifices for your marriage should come first above all, right? If in my house, if it's God first, then my income, which provides for the family, my foundation, the business, my companies, and then I have to look at myself because I'm the one that's providing the income, and then my partner, and then my children, right? Because if I start messing that alignment up and I say, well, you know what? I'm going to put myself first, screw the money, screw you. I don't appreciate it. Then it messes up the vertical alignment and I'm unevenly yoked, right? So if I don't respect the laws of my vertical alignment, if I say, okay, I'm going to put my kids before my spouse, that's not going to work. Or if I say I'm going to put my career. Now, when I say God first and then the income, I'm not saying put the career before my partner, but that career is what's making the money to keep the family together, right? To pay the bills, to provide food, put a roof over the head. And then I got to look out for myself if I'm the income earner, right? I'm making the money. So I got to make sure my mind's healthy and my partner is there to help me and support me so we can win as a family. But if she goes off and says, you know what, screw you, I'm going to go be a skydiver, or I'm going to go scuba dive now, I don't care about the family, that's a selfish move. Wait. Now the family, okay. And I'm just being honest. Now the family starts to crumble. Now I sleep in a separate room, right? And you go in one room, he's in the other, and then he has resentment, bitterness, right? And then you have shame and guilt towards him or resentment. And now there's all these issues in the house, but you know who suffers the most? The child. Because most children that grow up in a single family home have issues in their adult life. I was one of those kids, right? So I came from a broken home. So when I went through that situation, my ex slept in a separate room. She did the same thing. She competed, right? But then she stopped. That wasn't the reason, but we ended up leaving on good terms, but our children were affected. We went through counseling. We made the attempt. If you know, I'm just saying this. If there is something that's causing the relationship, the foundation of the family to be bad, I have to look at that and say, hey, is there a way I can scale back? Can I compromise? Can I meet halfway? Right? Like, my relationship, she competes, right? And it was like, okay, I talked with her coach. We had a meeting, excuse me. And it's like, you got your pro card, right? So you're under the IFBB, right? Pro league. So you're gonna, Jim Mannion, right? You're going to compete. So you pick your pro event, but when you're competing like 3 or 4 times, I don't know if you did that as a pro in a year, you're getting points. You're trying to qualify for Miss Olympia. I get it. But then it's like, okay, my family's suffering. Is it making you money or is it fulfilling your needs? Yeah. Right. Are you Jennifer Dory, right? Right. Who lives here in Vegas, right? Who's top of the top. You want to get there. And I understand that, yes. But sometimes it's like, what's more important long-term, right? You see what I mean? And all I'm saying is you have to look at the bigger picture and say, where do I want to be in 2 to 5 years? Do I want to be Miss Olympia or do I want a successful family? And that's your choice. And I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I'm just saying that whatever's causing a problem, if I have a friend that's a woman, which I don't have girls as friends. I don't do that. Okay. But if I have a girl that's a friend and we train together and my partner says, or wife or significant other says, hey, I think training with that woman is a bad thing. And I just ignore it and it causes problems. I'm putting that person over my relationship. I'm going to stop doing that. Even if I don't agree with it, just because I know it's the wrong thing to do. I'm putting myself in a situation that's causing a detriment to the relationship. Right. Do you understand what I'm saying? So your great grandmother or your grandmother was in a marriage with your grandfather, right? They were married for how long?
I don't remember.
70, 80 years, forever, right? They got married when they were probably, yes. You're Moldovan? No?
No, Macedonian.
Macedonian.
Macedonian, okay. Next to Greece.
Yeah, I know where it is. Macedonian. So Alexander the Great, Macedonian, right? So yeah. Your grandma and grandpa probably got married when they were like teenagers.
Yes, 16. My mom is married on 16.
Is your mom still married?
Still.
Your mom made sacrifices for your father, right?
Yeah, and I've been taught that way. I'm being raised that way. That's only one man, and you will stay quiet when you need.
Okay, but here's the thing:
you will serve your man.
Right, but you're not doing that. No.
I don't do it. I do it, but when I see I'm unappreciated, I don't do it. Like I feel unappreciated.
Did he provide for the family?
Everything.
So how is it?
I would like to don't have a restriction like that. For example, his side hobby to say like he's not in the gym, he's not fitness, nothing at all. Like we are totally different lifestyle. But I never looked for he to have a muscles or stuff like that. Or
he's not supposed that's irrelevant. He provided for the family. You married him the way he was.
Yes. But for example, he likes to do stock market and he losing money sometimes.
Well,
and me as a wife, I can say, why you put those money over there when you're losing, when you can do something else with it for the family. But I support him on a way, like, do it. Like try to figure out, learn this, do this.
Let me
Go
ask you
on
this.
YouTube, study
Okay,
this.
okay. Let me ask you this. Did he make 6 figures a year? You know what?
Yes,
Do you know
he
what that
does.
means? You know what that means, right? No.
Yeah, yeah.
Did he make a? Did he
More
make
than
100,000
100,000.
or
Yeah.
more a year? Does he make that?
Yes, he does.
So he's in the top 7% in America income bracket, 10%. You see what I mean? So it's not your job to question what he's doing or not. He's being successful. He's more successful than 90% of the men out there.
What about me? I want to be successful in something.
Your success is if he's successful, you're successful, right? If he fails, you fail.
Yes.
Right? But let me ask you this.
Something.
Okay, let me ask you this. That what I'm trying to say is there's a way to do what you need to do without, because you're telling me it was mutual, but I have a feeling it was you were the one that was pushing the buttons because you weren't getting what you wanted, right? You wanted to compete 9 times. You competed 9 times in 2 years. And you spent 2 hours a day at the gym. How many times a week?
7.
So now
Every day.
now you're overtraining. 7 days. You're not resting. Your body grows when you rest.
Oh.
You know that. So you're not doing fasted cardio every day unless you're on prep. Right? It's expensive to compete, which he paid for.
No, he didn't.
He didn't pay for any of your competition. You said he provided for the family.
0.
So how did you make your money?
But I was working nighttime job.
So you were training during the day and working at night. And why were you working at night if you made 6 figures a year?
Because I've been since 16, I've been like that. So my parents had money, but I was working. I don't like the fact to be in somebody's lap. Like
that's
to
not
be dependent on money.
But that's your husband. He's a good man. Is he a good man? Yes or no? Is he a good man?
Yeah.
So you have a good man that's a husband, makes 6 figures a year, provided for the family, put food on the table, roof over your head, took care of your son, took care of you. You chose to step out and be an independent woman. You chose to get a job when you didn't have to. You chose to compete when I know that's your goal, but all that stuff you did created the problems you have. You see what I'm saying? So if you were here, see what I'm saying? So now think about this. You're 34 years old with a son. Okay. You're going to compete. When you're done, let's say you're done competing or whatever, you find this guy, you're going to be in your late 30s. You had a perfect husband. Nothing's perfect, but you had a great husband that did all these things for you. And you were willing to throw it away for what? So you can be happy. You see that you have a husband that 90% of the women in America wish they had.
I know. And I always say that to everybody. Like everybody would want my husband to have.
Then why are you going to throw it away? Why would you do that? I'm just curious. You don't value what you had.
Because he agreed with this.
Because you put him in that.
I am mentally abused.
What? Say that again.
He said, and this is, he agreed with this. He mentally abusing me.
He's mentally abusing you.
Yeah.
He told you that.
Yes.
Why do you
I know where it was my mistake, and I never work on it. I tried to work, but and how the things was going, it's everything. I was working nighttime and I was sleeping home. Like, so that's the 3 years we don't sleep each other together, like that we started actually stopping sleeping because I was working nighttime because I want to support myself. I don't want to ask him for money for bodybuilding. So all my personal needs until today I covered.
So then why
now?
Right. So then you acted like you were single. So why'd you even get married? Because that's a single woman. You were acting single. You slept by yourself. You didn't sleep with him. You had your own money.
But I didn't move. He moved it, not me.
He moved. You said you still lived
I
with
mean, I
him.
was like that. Yes. He moved to another room. I want to say, like, it happened because I was nighttime working, so he was sleeping with the child. So even on the off days, he was still sleeping. I never told him get out from my bed. He never came back.
Who were you spending time with at the gym?
Alone, most of the time. I used to work out with my coach, but I stopped
Why'd you stop? What happened?
because I think my coach can bring me more on the big stages. So he's a good coach, but I think I don't need him no more.
Okay, so there was no other
He's
issues.
like, he's not a pro. He's not nobody. So I don't want to waste my time.
But you had no other problems at the gym. You had no other problems in your personal life. It was just the competing.
So he's saying that everything started because of the competing, but also here it's another things like the no supportive part. You know, I never complain about it. Like I never complain about it, but I always was there. So look at the things you're saying, like you being a selfish, but no, I was going with the scale in a restaurant just he don't feel like I'm on prep. So I bring my scale and my food measuring in the middle of a restaurant just to be equal, like to don't feel that I'm like different. Understand? So after prejudging, I've been shopping in BJ's. I cover all my responsibilities, including working nighttime and sleeping 3 hours every day. Just to don't have the feeling that I'm competing and I'm a selfish.
But
Only was the part
go ahead. Go ahead.
where I had to wake up in the morning and he doesn't have a breakfast with me, so I have to hit the gym for 2 hours. That was his painful part on Saturday and Sundays. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point I'm trying to make is you're in a situation where
So
go ahead.
So maybe, I mean, if you heard his side, I don't know how he feels, but the things what he have been told me is every time you're competing, we are suffering, and I'm asking him back, what is the question? Why you suffering? What I was missing to you? Maybe just my moods being up and down.
Maybe your moods, right?
But otherwise,
but what else?
yes. But otherwise, like my responsibilities, take care of the son, the house, the cooking, you know, the main things in the house, laundry and stuff like that, to be clean, everything. It was, that's why I decided to go nighttime job in the casino. I was working Hard Rock Casino for 2 years.
Did you do all those responsibilities? You took care of the house?
Yes.
But see, so here's the bottom line is that you left, or I'm going to say he left, but you were focused on something else other than your family is what happened, right? He was asking, he was pleading. He was asking you, he's telling you things, because I know things changed. Your moods changed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Became more moody because of the prep, because of the PEDs, right? I've been there, and I will tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
3 to 4 out of 5 women that compete go through these mood swings because their bodies aren't meant to be like that. Even men. With men, they call them roid rages, right? Because they're on trenbolone. They're on too much test. Their hormones are off. With women, it's their hormones, period. It's their body fat levels, everything, right? I've been around it. Very few women can be level-minded. It's not that you're weak. It's that your body's not meant to do that. Now, that causes what? Fights in the relationship, resentment, guilt, shame, right? I'll show you attitudes, Now the guy's like, well, dude, you know, this competing's causing problems. And you're like, so? So your value, so he's not, so you show no respect for a man that did what he had to do as a husband. And then you decided, well, you know, it's not worth it. And he went in the other room because you didn't respect him. You didn't value what he brought to the table. You didn't value the relationship enough to care. And you made that decision on your own to be independent and act single, go do your own thing. Now the family's broken up. And then 4 or 5 years from now, you're going to look back and go, what was I thinking? That's the problem, because you have something that, and I think it's fixable. I think it's just a decision. I think it's a compromise. I think it's like, hey, here's, you know, maybe I was out of line. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I shouldn't have spent more time at the gym. Maybe I can still go pro and work it out with my husband. I don't know. Because at the end of the day, you didn't need to work nights. You just said that. You didn't have to. If he could spend more time with you and you didn't work nights, obviously you say you don't want to rely, you should rely on your husband. He relies on you for comfort and care, right? But if he paid for your competition, you didn't work nights and you were home more, you'd have more time together. You'd still be able to compete. There's got to be more. There's something else missing.
I didn't want to.
Nobody had an affair. Did anybody cheat on anybody?
No.
Okay. Because something's
No, I don't
missing.
think so. I haven't. So the reason why I started competing, it was because I didn't have enough attention from him. So I was kind of like, you know, I didn't work, and I was taking care of my 3-year-old son, and I was missing something in life. Like I want to do on my own. Like I'm not a type of wife to call you on the phone and be bored. And when you want to come back home, that's not me. Like I always found something to do, you know? So the idea in the gym was my passion even before him. So I work out for 13 years like this consistently.
So when you say not enough attention, what were you expecting? You're expecting a Fantasyland Disney marriage.
No, but
What do you mean no attention? Did the guy come home to you? Did he come home to you every night?
yes, yes. Sometimes drunk, but yes.
So what did you want him to do? Sing? Do you want him to sing for you? What's he supposed to do?
No, but did you ever read the book Five?
Gary Chapman, Five Love Languages. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And you know what? It's hard to look. I tell women to say that. I say, get a dog. There's your emotional support.
I have a dog.
Okay, good. Right? Are you with me? Gary Chapman's a great author. And Five Love. I've read that book inside and out. You know, and 99.9% of the people that still don't do what it says.
Yes, that's true.
What's
but
his,
you know
okay,
what? It's a fun.
Okay, what's his love language?
But a funny thing, I
No. Wait.
Outside.
Hold on. What's your husband's love language?
I don't know.
Here we go.
Oh yes.
See?
No, I know what is his love language. To cook something for him, to make up something to him. That's his.
Okay. Acts of.
But you know what?
Okay, wait. Hold on. His love language is acts of service.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. So what's your love language?
My love language? I don't know how to say. Attention. I want attention.
Okay, you want attention. So what type of attention do you want?
Attention, the way
Describe that.
For example, I like taking photos.
You like taking photos?
Yeah, like in 8 years, he never took his phone, for example, to record me. I asked him this question.
Okay. Hold on. Time out. Okay, I'm with a girl that competes, and everywhere we go, we got to stop and take a photo and a video. But that's not attention. That's for you. That's your
It's not,
self-absorption of you. You want to
no,
be on
I
photo.
want, he's not proud of me. So basically, like
I
we
doubt
walk,
that he's
look at
not
this.
proud of
We
you.
walk through Publix, okay? We walk in Publix, we grocery shop together. And I'm on a tank top and my arms are freaking cut and people turning around. And, every day you don't see cut girl like that. It's a normal people to turn around. So me and him, we walk and he's like, what are you looking at her? What are you looking at? What? Like a dog. And I was like, why are you acting that way? People haven't seen that all the time. So it's a normal people to look.
Because
why are you afraid?
Okay, because he doesn't want to expose his wife to wondering eyes. He wants his wife to be respectful in public. That's his wish. See, this is about what you're looking for. You're looking for validation in yourself. Right? This isn't about him, it's about you. Because the attention, you're seeking attention outside of your marriage because you feel, I feel like, let's say get a dog. I feel like I'm not getting enough attention from my husband the way you want it. You're an attention seeker. You want that attention.
Yes, I do.
Like I said, bodybuilding is all about me. Check me out. Right? Quarter turn to the left. Quarter turn to the left, walk to the backstage, right? Look at my butt, look at my tie-ins, glute hamstring tie-ins. That's all about you. That's not about him. And so when you say your love language is attention, maybe his is attention. Maybe he needs attention from you. Because 9 times out of 10, the person that says their love language is XYZ, it's actually what the other person wants. Like, I want attention, right? I want support. I want this. I want that. And then you're like, well, he just likes me to cook for him. Maybe he wants a submissive wife that's going to follow his lead. Right?
Yeah.
See, Gary Chapman doesn't talk about that. He doesn't talk about submissiveness. He talks about all these love languages. I call it the Disneyland squares, right? But he doesn't talk about what men really want and what women want, right? And the problem is modern day society, it's about me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But you have a beautiful family. You have a great husband. You got a beautiful son, I'm sure. And you're like, I want to compete. You see, you can compromise, man. I'm telling you, this is fixable. It's fixable.
I think it's unfair somebody to change for somebody. Like I always tell him, why you
but he didn't change. But he didn't change. He's the same man you met when you married him. You changed. He didn't. He's the same values and principles when you met him, when you were dating. Whatever attracted you to him is the same dude that he is right now. He hasn't changed.
No, he was worse. He changed in a better way.
Oh, well, there you go. You just put yourself on the spot. If he went better and it's not working, then who went the wrong way?
Yes, but look at this. When we start dating, the first question of him was, "What do you want from life?" He asked me, and you know what? I felt like a piece of floor. I said, "I don't know," and that hurt me a lot. And I was trying to find myself what I want in life to do.
How old were you when you got married?
I was 24, 5.
You wanted to be a good wife and have a family.
So he asked me what I wanted from life, not just to be a housewife. Like how I see myself.
So let me tell you this. To be a housewife is 10 times harder than a woman being successful in corporate America, because you have to be a woman of strength. You have to learn how to submit to the cause of the family. That's tough. And a woman that doesn't do that isn't a woman. That's just an independent person. She doesn't know what it takes to be a wife and a woman. It's hard. It's very hard. It's hard for a man. We have all the responsibilities on our shoulders. Yes, I know. And then to have someone say, I'm not getting enough attention. Here's your dog. Well, I'm still not getting here's another dog. I need more attention, right? Take photos of me when I'm walking. Do a video when I'm walking in the mall with my Louis bags or whatever. I'm joking, but I'm not. Like, but you see what I'm saying? You want photos. I mean, I had to go to a point where I said, hey, look, I don't want to take photos everywhere we go. You need to take a break, because that's becoming a priority in our date nights. Instead of spending time with me, you want to be taking photos. Our food comes to the table. Oh, don't eat anything. Hold on, let me take a video.
Oh, I don't do that. I skip that part. He teach me to don't do it, so I'm not even trying it. You know, when once, 2 times somebody says like, "Why are you doing that? For what? For Instagram? For social media?" You know, like you start to think twice that that's not really life. But the thing is, we stop going out. So for this relationship to work, it needs 2 people.
But you or stop going out because you're on prep. You're 9 times in 2 years.
No, how I said, I bring my scale with me. So no.
I know, and there's some restaurants. There's some restaurants, but you still got to bring your meal prep. And there's some restaurants you can't bring your food to a restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, better in a successful in his job. He's a great father.
And he was a great husband.
A great husband, which he admitted that he never supported me in what I was doing.
He didn't support you in your dreams. He supported you as a
what I did.
But he supported you as a wife.
Like what? He didn't support me?
No, you said he didn't support you. He did support you. He took care of you.
Didn't support me in the bodybuilding.
Because if he feels that it's not benefiting the family, and he says, I don't want to support that, and you go against it, you're being the one that's being rebellious, because you want to pursue your dreams over the family. When you started bodybuilding, what was his mindset? In the beginning, when you started, was he against it or was he supportive in the beginning?
He said like this. He said like this to me. In the beginning, he didn't like it. And it took so much of his pride to accept that he's going to see his wife on a stage in a bikini. But he said, I get it. I see so many they doing it, and I think it's fine.
Okay, stop.
He never stopped me.
Hold on. He told you, I'm gonna switch this around. If I told my significant other to stop competing, she would stop. She wouldn't want to stop, but if I told her I wanted her to stop, she would. If I said, hey, I don't like all your pictures on Instagram, they're a little too risque, blah, 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 blah. Can you take it? She'd shut her Instagram down. Now, if I said, just like your husband, okay, well, I see they're competing. Okay, fine. So initially he was somewhat okay with it, correct? Because he said fine. So then what changed when you started competing? Was it men around you at the gym? What was it? Because there's something you're not telling me.
What do you mean it changed? I can get it.
You said initially that he didn't want you to compete, but then he said, okay, I see people competing in bikinis, whatever. Okay, fine. Then he was okay with it. Yes. In the beginning, right? So what happened? What I'm trying to figure out is, what did you do? What happened between him saying okay to I don't want you to do it anymore? Did you do something? Were you talking?
No, so I did one show.
Do you have guy friends at the gym?
No, I don't hang out with people at the gym.
Okay. So what happened?
And really, my circle is very small, so I don't have too many friends. And most of them, they're girls. I mentioned to you in a message that I have a gay friend. I don't have a guy's friend. I have a gay friend, which it was so hard for him to accept those too. And it happened like a colleague worker at work. So, and become from the same country.
And you work with him?
Yeah, I used to work with him. not anymore, but I used to work. And he have a boyfriend too, which like obviously is not private something. It's, bless you. It's
Sorry.
um you know,
Were you going, let me ask you this.
it's
Were you going back home saying, oh, I talked with my friend, he said we should do this? Were you doing any of that? You know, when you have conversations with coworkers
okay.
and then you compare his relationship to your relationship, or you come home and say, well, I was talking with Frank or Bob or Steve and he said this and this. Were you doing any of that?
To tell him whatever I do, yes, everything. And I regret
Okay,
it.
so here's the see look. I we have a rule. I don't talk to anybody about what's going on in our relationship. That's private, not a coworker.
Oh no, like no, I get you like this. I thought about you asking me if I have a conversation with somebody at work, do I tell him to my husband whatever I had? Not about my relationship.
Okay, so how is the relationship
Like
with
know
your
what I
how was the
know
relationship with your
what I'm doing.
okay, but how was the relationship with your coach? Your male coach?
Uh so it was really in the beginning very like just diet and workout talk. That's it. Nothing private life. But then since they start like I met them each other a couple of shows, and my coach is big guy, never my type, like to say, like I was explaining to him any kind of way to explain to him that it's just coach and athlete, nothing else. And the guy really was professional, but not until the end. So that's why I don't want to talk this part like this, because like I feel uncomfortable to go in a public this part. But I
Oh,
can
okay.
tell you, but I just want this part to go to a public, you know. So my husband always was telling me that he doesn't like the guy. He doesn't like the guy. And really, the guy never did disrespect until I didn't say that I'm going to separate. So since I said that word, things changed. That's why I'm leaving him. He started acting different.
Because men know the intentions of other men before the woman knows it. We already know. Men know. Men know when a guy is genuine or not.
Okay.
99.9.
Yeah.
Hold
My
on.
husband was right.
Right. And that's my okay, hear me out.
Yes. I agree. He was right.
99.9%
But
of
until I fell on my skin.
Okay, 99.9% of men know. We know our true intentions. And because we know our true intentions, we know their true intentions. Right?
Okay.
So if I have a gut feeling about a dude and I'm like, okay, this dude's he's nice. I don't see it doesn't matter what you think. It's what I think. You're not respecting my wishes. I already know what his end game is, given the opportunity. And because of that, I'm like, no, I don't feel good about this dude. And you might look at it from a woman's perspective. No, because your intentions were not to do anything bad. Your intentions were this. His intentions weren't.
Yeah.
So there's always a problem. Right now, her coach, he's married. I know the guy. I know his true intentions. I know his wife. She competes. She knows my girlfriend. Right. And I'm around him all the time. But
I was offering to be, and I would love to be around.
But
he didn't do it.
The problem is because he didn't like, okay, let me ask you this. If he was around a hot chick that really liked him and you knew she liked him, but he said, oh, I got to hang around her anyways, but that's not, I'm not going to do anything with her. And she was a 10.
He actually tried that. He gave me a business card of a girl, a very beautiful girl. And he said to me like this, so be ready me to work with this girl. I will work every day, and we actually need to take photos for the business for the company, for Instagram. And, like, I'm going to work with her, just to let you know.
How'd that make you feel?
And inside, honest, horrible.
Okay, so there
But
we go.
in the same time, I get that business card and I told him just like this: do me a favor, just in case if she needs uh, inspiration for motivation for the gym and stuff like that. Here we go. Give her my Instagram, okay? Because don't forget what kind of wife you have.
Now,
That's it.
okay, but here's the difference. He's making money, you're not. And and I know how you felt. I know how you felt. How did he feel? So when you said, "Oh, it doesn't matter," no, it does matter. You're not getting. You could have went with a different coach. He couldn't change his job right away. He was making money.
But my coach didn't charge me.
Did you go meet her? Yeah. Okay. Stop right there. There you go. I'm not going to charge you. You're so beautiful and sexy. I'm not going to charge you. I'll train you for free. Nothing's for free. Nothing is for free. Right there's a red flag that you know. Think about it. This. No.
How I started. Let me tell you how I started. I started like this. He came up to me and he asked me. I know it was NPC. I was WBFF. I did on my own. I had a coach from UK online. That's it. It was a guy, but we never get in a meeting like real. Like everything was online, whatever. So after that, I finished that. I placed 4th place. That was my first show. And then this guy, it was a director in LA Fitness. So he was no coach. He was fake until he make. He saw so much potential in my body. So he knew that with little work, I can make it a lot. So with his idea was, I'm going to coach you for free. Let's do NPC show. And it was like 2 weeks apart of this show. And I was already ready. So it was just basically the flip the diet. That's it. That was my first show with him. He never charged me. And after that, because he showed up as my coach over there, and my physique looked insane, he gets so many girls for coaching, he blow up. And that was the main thing. You're going to make videos with me, and I'm not going to charge you. And I'm going to make you turn pro. And really, he did. He really did. But just in the end, when we went to the pro stage, he lost himself. So I see that there is...
All in despite of your husband's wishes.
I told him everything. Absolutely, he knew about everything I did.
So my question is it worth it? Was it worth you losing your marriage?
No.
There you go.
It was not.
So you and now wait. Because
make
you know
it a
this,
different way.
Because you know this, do you know that you can still fix your marriage?
I know I can fix my marriage, but I think we went too far.
Then if you went too far, you can't fix your marriage. You either can fix it or you can't.
No, I can't, I think. I don't know.
You haven't been to a professional counselor or anything because you're telling me he doesn't want to. I promise you, if you went to him right now with your hat in your hand, that's a phrase we use. That's humble. If you go to him humble and say, you know what? I realize I made a lot of mistakes. I realize how much I care about you and the family and my son. Can we go get help? Because I want this marriage to work. You cannot tell me he'd say no.
No, he will say yes.
There you go. There you go. So it's up to you. And you have to live with the fact that if you do go through a divorce, if that's what you're planning on doing, that's going to be on you. And your family's going to be affected. You have to figure it out. There's a way to make it work. Hey, and I'm not saying this, despise him. I'm saying this. Go to a male counselor, coach. Go to somebody that says, hey, let's work on it. You don't have a coach now. Even if it's not using my girl's coach here, maybe it's using a local pro that's a woman that's not competing anymore. That's the key. I don't believe you can be so effective still competing because she's in the same, you know, even if like her old coach was a figure competitor that's pro and she moved, but when she comes time to her to go on the Olympia stage, then it's like, you can't do both, right? You're too busy focusing on yourself. Now she's in the wellness. Now she's in her category, right? She has a new coach, but I'm just saying, look, work on it. If you want to.
That's the thing. I think I'm so tired of this.
Okay, so
and
can
I don't want to work.
You don't want to work. So can you now? I'll say this with
It hurts
grace.
me.
Your son is going to be affected because of this.
I know that's the reason these past 3 years I haven't cut that off. Like,
is he worth it?
What do you mean? Is it worth it?
Is your son worth it for you to make the marriage work? Because the guy hasn't cheated on you. There was you guys had issues in the end of the marriage, but he's a good guy. It sounds like.
I always say that he's a good guy.
Your son is gonna do. So is he raising? So you guys both live together still?
Still, we live together. We don't sleep together. He's raised of two parents like that. He's the parents of my husband. They've been living 10 years together in separate rooms, and that for him was so normal until the day I didn't say, "Listen, I'm joining the police. I'm leaving you. This can't continue." Until my son said, "Mommy, you need to go to your room to sleep tonight. What are you doing here?" So I was like, "Man, this is not fine. This guy doesn't do anything. I need to do something. I can't work like this. This is not a life.
Why can't you
do whatever I want. He doesn't
Why can't you go to his room?
No, he's sleeping with my son. I sleep in the bedroom. I never left my bedroom. He left the bedroom.
So that you guys need, it's up to you. I mean, like I said, if you want to go to counseling, great. If you don't,
like when I see that he doesn't do anything about it, it makes me to don't do anything.
Because he's hurt because of what you did. He's hurt because of your
Yeah. What happened? The most worst it was when I win the pro card, and he said that he's proud and that, and I said this to him. Listen, I know I did sacrificing, and I know you guys went through, but I show you that every Saturday and Sunday when you stopping me to go and I never listen to you, I will never gonna make this. So I did it because of those Saturdays and Sundays we fight, and in the end,
in the end, who won?
So
who won in the end?
I mean, I signed up for a bigger. Pro card make me now I didn't think about it what I'm doing in the moment, but honestly now I have the pro card and actually I sign up for double the work to do, because now I'm with the big people. I need to catch there if I want to be there. Like in Olympia stage, I need to give more now than I used to give in these 9 shows. And I know how I went.
Let me ask you this: how old is Miss Olympia?
I don't know.
How old is she?
I don't know, honestly. This sport for me was something new. I never knew that this exists. But I've been active for 13 years. So the reason I started competing was just because people was asking.
Okay, so Jennifer Dory. Okay, but Jennifer Dory that won Miss Olympia was 25 years old. 24 years old.
25?
24, 25 years old. Yeah. You're 34. You're 34.
Mm-hmm.
See, for men, yes. Mr. Olympia, men win in their 40s, early 40s, late 30s, generally, right? Women in their mid 20s to maybe late 20s. So are you competing in Masters or are you competing in Open?
Me now?
Yeah.
No, Open.
Open.
I'm I'm not still 34. I'm going to be 34 now in July.
Okay.
I'm
So you're gonna
33.
okay. So you're 33, going to be 34 years old. And so all I'm saying is you need to look at what's more important long term. Nothing wrong with competing, but if you can't balance it, something's got to give. But you made the choice to give up the marriage, not your husband. That's your choice. You can always fix that. Because you can go back and say, hey, look, can we talk? He's in the other room. He's in the other room because of the mistakes you made. He didn't make any mistakes. He asked.
I think we can't stand each other no more.
That's you, because of you. But you got to accept the responsibility. It is on you. You have to own it, right? He didn't step out. He didn't do it. All he asked is if his wife, could you do this? Could you do that? Could you do that? And you're like, no. That's on you.
I do.
No, you just said you didn't.
I do.
You just said you didn't.
No, I stopped doing it. I stopped doing it, but I was doing it. And I was raised that way. And I still, I went to the point when we didn't talk for months. So he started doing his laundry, which I know it's normal. Everybody can do it. But I feel inside guilty because he's doing his laundry. That's supposed to be my job. It's not.
Makes me even more mad because I don't sleep and I work and I never complain while I work.
You're breaking up here. Hold on. Are you there?
Yeah.
I don't know why it's breaking up. Hold on 1 second. Okay, can you talk? Hello?
Yes.
Oh, hold on a second.
You hear me?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, that's weird. Okay. You hear me okay? Yeah.
Yeah. So what I was saying?
You said he was doing laundry. You felt guilty.
Yeah, he was doing laundry. And I feel guilty because he's doing his laundry. That's supposed to be my job. But don't do this way, do that way. Why you park your car like that? Why you did this? That's the mental abuse. And he agreed with it. He said, I know. I've been paying in the ass to you.
Was he a pain in the ass before you started competing?
Yes. But
wait,
I didn't pay attention to
when you were dating him, he was a pain in the ass?
Yes.
So why did you accept his proposal?
To love somebody unconditionally.
Boom, bingo. There you go.
Okay.
So when I put these videos out and women say, oh, I do love unconditional.
Okay.
And then they want to get out of the relationship because they say they were mentally or toxically abused. You dated him.
But he agreed with it.
Well, you chose him. I don't know one person that would marry somebody if they feel like they were mentally abused. How is he by him saying you're parking the car wrong, mentally abusive? That makes no sense. What is he doing? What was he doing?
What do you mean?
You said he was mentally abusive. He said he's mentally abusive.
Like with bad words. For example, you don't know nothing. You're stupid.
Okay,
you don't know this. But he agreed.
Okay. So that's wrong. That's bad behavior. But you're telling me he was doing this when you were dating.
I mean, no, right away. But my relationship with him started very quick. So I know him. For first night I met him. Okay, I slept with him first night. Then after a week, we moved each other. I speak barely English in the moment. Okay. Then we started living, so we pay rent. We was equal in that type, like that side. I was working, whatever. Then after a year and a half, I got pregnant, and he freaked out, which hurt me a lot.
Yeah.
Then
he didn't expect it. Why freaking out?
So
that's the normal reaction.
But before that, we got married after 6 months of dating. We got married. I bring him back home. My family was kind of pushing about marriage because my dad is kind of a guy like you can't be sleeping in a man's house and not be married. You need to get married. So they was like kind of pushing me. Also, when I moved here, I need to get married or something just for my situation of my stay. So it came so
back.
quick.
Stop.
Everything.
You had to get married because of your H-1B visa, your visa status.
Yes, yes,
So you got married so you could get your citizenship or your permanent residence.
yes.
Okay.
But before that, I told him my situation. How is it? And I said, I'll pay somebody. But he said no. So when I met him, he had a $0 in his bank account, okay? And his car broke down. So he didn't have no money for a car. And I have a lot of savings that time because I just was working. So when that happened, I went, before we got married, I went to the bank and I took $10,000 and I told him go buy a new car. And I didn't have no driving license, nothing. So I didn't need it. And I know him only for not even 2 months. Somebody who I don't know and I give him money like that. Because my instincts told me that he's a nice guy, that he's not gonna hurt me.
He's still a nice guy, right? He's still a nice guy. There you go.
Yes, he is. So, and I didn't want to obligate him like to feel like he owed me something. But I told my truth, how is it for my situation. So then he said that he will do that favor to me. So we got married. He never buy me a ring. He never buy me nothing. No wedding ring, no nothing, absolutely anything, no proposal. So I bring him back home. Everything turned perfect. My parents loved him. He loved my family. I have a big family.
What does your family say about you getting? Did you file for divorce? Or you guys filed for divorce?
Not yet. Not yet. I got in fight with him, so I broke the papers.
Okay, wait a minute. You're mad at him, so you tore up the divorce papers.
I signed up everything, and then we got in fight for something, and then I grabbed the papers, and I was like, I'm breaking this. It's new rules now, just to make him scared.
So now you're being vindictive.
What does that mean?
That means vindictive means that you're doing stuff out of spite because you're mad. You're acting on your emotions. You're doing something to directly hurt him because you want him to see him in pain. Does that sound like a good person?
Yes.
That's not a good person.
For me, yes, it's not. I agree with that. So, but how I said, to fight two people needs, not only one. I can't fight myself.
So does your family know you're going through this?
I was hiding and I told them, so which was not accepted. And I think all these couple of years I'm hiding it just because I know they're not going to accept it. I'm afraid to do it, even if I'm not happy, for example. And I know in all of this, it's suffering the most the kid, because the kid watching everything.
So if the kid's suffering, your family's saying it's not the right thing to do, but you got to do what's right for you. You know it's not right. He's a good guy. Man, that's a counseling situation. You gave up the marriage. That's on you, not him. You know you can make it work if you really want to make it work. That's a decision you need to make. You just got to remember the consequences you're going to suffer down the road because you decided to call it quits, right? Without trying, because you know, if you went and tried, you never know, right? But if you do everything,
I think we need to return ourselves together to appreciate each other. We don't appreciate each other no more.
That's where a professional comes in and helps, right? Because if you say, I've done everything I can to make this marriage work, I tried everything. I went to church. I went to a pastor, if you believe in God. I went to counseling. I did this. I did that. If you do everything you can do and it still doesn't work, then you can sleep at night. But if you cut it short and you say, well, hey, I just whatever, I'm done.
But I asked for 2 years ago, I asked to go. And you know what he said to me? He said, what did you did to fix, what did you make a move to fix this marriage? And why are you going to ask somebody else?
Well, but you just told me earlier in this conversation that we said, if you went to him and told him and you were humble that you made mistakes and you want to make this marriage work and I'll make compromises. Can we go to counseling? You told me he would go.
Now he doesn't want to go because he told me that I'm serious about divorce, but before, no.
But so he wouldn't go get help now?
That
makes no sense. He wouldn't go. He wouldn't go before, but now he won't go now.
Now he will go because he told me that I'm so serious about it. That, like, I really want a divorce.
Well, there you go. There's your cue. So the ball's in your court. You can solve this. You can fix this if you want to. Right? You know that. 100%.
Yeah, I know. But the question is, do I really want to keep it going? Do I want to really make him to suffer?
Basically, how he's talking now, he's the
good guy. I'm the bad guy.
But you are right. But you're not. You go through a divorce. You think, look, you know what's going to happen? He's making 6 figures a year. Right? Right?
Okay.
He's in the top 10%. 90% of the women are competing for a guy like him.
I know he's going to get like this girl.
Right.
Because of the 6 figures.
Now, you're going to be a single mom. You still can attract people, but to get the top 10% of the guys, you're going to be competing with women in their mid-20s where you were that don't have children. And so you say he's not going to be happy. You do again, you're doing that out of spite. You're doing that to make him feel bad. But what's going to happen is your son's going to suffer and you're going to suffer.
I mean, for me to suffer, I don't mind.
I mean, you can't make this up, right? This is what you want to do, right? I don't know why you want to cause pain. You don't want to cause pain. You want to, that's not a good thing, right? You want everybody to be in good standings, good mental standings. You don't want to do things out of spite, no matter what happens. My ex, I never did anything bad to hurt her in the divorce, right?
Then why did you divorce?
Because we went to counseling, and she made comments that said it wouldn't work. Right? We did what we tried to do. I made an effort. We all made an effort. We didn't just cut it off and say screw you. You do what you can, right? But my children suffered tremendously because of it. They're affected to this day. And that was 2017, and they're still affected by it. I didn't want that, right? I knew it would affect them, but we had to make a decision. And when we went to counseling, and then we realized, hey, okay, what's changed, right? I was the same dude I was from day one. And now she's still single. Dealing with it, right? But anyways, I know we're running out of time, but I'm glad we had a chance to talk, right? But in the end, you have to make that decision. You got to figure out which way you're going to go, right? And it's always good to think of the children. I know you got to have some type of, I don't want to say happiness, but self-awareness of the situation where it's got to be decent for you. But I still think it's salvageable. You said it several times. Right? Because I'm telling you right now, the grass is not greener. It is not greener. 8 years you've been married? Yes. Wow. That's That's commendable. That's something that's great, right? I mean,
I know our relationship have foundation a lot. I know that's why it's been in this, like, slowly moving and we don't know what to do, but now it's become a time when we need to decide, because he wants to move to Miami and I want to stay here. I want to join the police. The kid needs to,
I'm gonna be a single mom.
so it's gonna be tough.
who's gonna be who's gonna have the son?
So we was talking, in which we both agree that, the kid is small, he needs mom, obviously. And but his job is flexible, very flexible. If I join the police, it's not going to be flexible for me. So
who's going to raise the kid?
So he offered me 6 months to stay with him until I finish the academy.
And even when you're a police
And
officer,
then-
you're going to raise your son as a police officer. Who's going to be? How old's your son?
He's going to be 7 now in March.
So he's going to be at home by himself when you're at work?
No, he go to school after care. But when I'll be working, so police job, it's 4 days on, 4 days off.
So when you're on 4 days, you're working 12-hour shifts, right?
Yeah.
So he goes to school at 7, gets done at 2, 3 o'clock.
5. Now I have to go pick him up.
Yeah. And you're going to have him full time.
I mean, we need to work.
Because remember, a man can raise a son. You can be a mother, but you can't teach him how to be a man. You got to remember that, because you're going to teach him what not to do right. In other words, I have a daughter, but she can be raised by my girlfriend. She's teaching her how to be a lady. I'm teaching my son how to be a man, right? But a woman can't do that, because you're going to teach him to.
No,
You're going to.
I agree with you.
Okay, so do you want your son to end up with a wife like you?
No.
There you go. See, you want
No.
So when he gets married, what are you going to tell him?
To sleep with his wife, not to be like me.
But also she's going to have to choose wisely, because if he gets somebody that wants to do her own thing, she's going to go off and do her own thing and put her family second, right?
Yeah, but he needs to understand that.
That's not how it works, though. That's not a good thing. Because when you're in Macedonia, things were different, right?
Yeah,
Western culture.
it was very different.
Yeah. So, those are just some things to think about, right? So I know we're running out of time. We got like a minute 30 left, but I want you to think about those things. If you have other questions, definitely reach out, right?
Yeah, I will. And I'm going to let you know the situation, what I'm going to decide, because soon I have to decide.
You have to make a decision for everybody, right? It's not just about you. Remember, it's about your son too, right? What's more important? I know we all make sacrifices, right? You know what I mean? But he has no choice. You do, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, I got to run.
That's true.
Good talking to you. Stay strong
Okay.
in your faith, right? Be level-headed. Don't act on your emotions too much, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Hold on, my connection's fading out. Hold on. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I gotta go. I gotta run. But hey, it's good talking with you. We'll stay in contact.
Me too.
All right,
Thank you
bye-bye.
so much.